Alright, what's good YouTube, it's Jay here. In Modern Warfare 3, we're introducing a new innovation to the Call of Duty campaign that allows players to interact with the story like never before. Open combat missions are player directed, allowing the audience to play the game they want to play it. There's like no audio for this for some weird reason. Open combat missions will feature kill streaks, loadouts, loadout crates, vehicles to use in-game loot like revive kits, field upgrades, and more. This kind of reminds me of like the campaign missions you could do in Black Ops 2 where you had the ability to like direct a group of soldiers and stuff. I wonder if it'll be similar to that or if it'll be a little bit different. As a guy who plays a lot of PvE kind of games, to be perfectly honest, this sounds really cool. I also play like a lot of strategy games and stuff too over on my other channel, which is just Jay the Gamer. I actually genuinely think this is pretty freaking cool. Wait, we can level up our guns in the campaign a week early? I mean, even if you can, I think the part of the fun of Call of Duty is leveling guns up in your multiplayer. I don't really like the family tree thing that they did for a lot of their guns. It never made any sense to me personally, but maybe it's just because I'm not so bloodthirsty to get everything like maxed out, you know what I mean? It sounds like a glorified Spec Ops, what I mean? It is literally a campaign pretty much. It's a campaign mission. How is it lazy? I don't understand people. Like, what do people want people to do for these games? Like, what about this is lazy? It's a campaign mission. You know, that's the one thing that's kind of difficult with Call of Duty. You do the same thing, people call it lazy. You do something different, people hate. But this sounds like a genuinely cool idea, and I just can't grasp how this is considered lazy to some people. This is why I don't read Twitter. Modern Warfare 3 campaign will feature linear missions and also a new way to play with the open combat missions. We already read this. The campaign takes place right after MW2. It features locals from Verdansk along with places around the world. Half missions are linear story missions, half missions are open combat missions. It'll feature Makarov and pretty much all the main characters from the Modern Warfare franchise. Here's the loadout UI. So I saw Jeff talk about this. This is basically like what the main UI for the game is pretty much gonna look like. Probably same for multiplayer, save for like field upgrades and stuff are supposed to be over here or something like that, and then kill streaks and all that. But I mean, you get your parachute, your ascender. I guess you can change your equipment and stuff too. I'm all for open combat missions. I mean, this kind of stuff is fun to me personally. Like, instead of just letting it be linear so people will call it boring and unimaginative, let's add in something different that also turns it into a bit of a Spec Ops kind of thing too. I think it's okay personally. I don't go out of my way to just be as negative as humanly possible. Like, I criticize really bizarre decisions, but when they try actually interesting things like this, I'm not gonna say, oh, it's just lazy. It's a terrible idea. Who cares? I'm just not that kind of person, man. I just feel like that's too negative. Open combat missions gameplay.
The audience to play the game the way they want to play it. So if you're like me and you like stealth, you can go in quiet, you can equip suppressed weapons, complete all the objectives without the enemies ever knowing you were there. But if you want to go in loud, you can strap on armor plates, you can go in, hit the enemy head on, and open combat missions will support it. You can leverage vehicles, you can leverage tacticals, lethals, you can eat.
Okay, I genuinely do think that's a really cool idea. This kind of looks like Hackney Yard. Remember Hackney Yard from Modern Warfare 2019? Or was it Gunrunner? It was one of those two. I think that's really cool. Why do the visuals look as good as MW19, but MW2 look worse even in the campaign? I actually do think that MW2 visually was a bit of a downgrade to MW19 personally. Maybe it's because I run everything on lower graphics, but even on lower graphics, MW19 still didn't look that bad. MW2 looked like plastic. Oh, Lando literally says it right here. It looked like plastic. So I mentioned stealth, go to guns blazing at any point, yada yada. We've already seen this a bajillion times. So does this mean, are we gonna get like alternate endings? We haven't had anything like that since BO2, I want to say. I also genuinely want to thank a lot of the people that have been subbing to the channel. We are almost at 1,000 on this channel, which is just insane, honestly. I started this channel as a branch away from my main channel, which is just Jay the Gamer. It was my way of kind of like finding a new avenue to explore content, because I've been doing a lot of the same stuff on my main for a really long time. A lot of my community wasn't really a big fan of some of the stuff that I started adding to the channel, be it like Call of Duty content or shooter content in general. So I wanted a place where I could kind of do all that and not really feel weird about it, you know? And that's what this channel has been. It's just been a nice, you know, break away from the stuff that I was doing before. It gives me room to be a little bit more flexible with my own stuff, and I'm very grateful for it. So I appreciate everybody that's been subbing. I know a lot of people are coming from a Fallout short that I posted a while ago. It's been almost a year, and I think it's at like 200,000 views, but still, I still appreciate the subs, like really. Viewership for the videos have also been going up like crazy too. Like some of my videos are going past 60, 70, 80. For a new channel, that's still really damn good. So I appreciate all the love and support, man. It's been meaning a lot to me, and just can't wait to see where things go. I also want to give a shout out to the people from my main channel that actually ended up coming over to this channel. I know it's not your cup of tea, but to come over and watch content you don't really care about, you know, just for the sake of watching the creator, I just appreciate it, man. It's a great feeling, honestly. It makes me feel like I'm doing something right with life. Granted, this has been one of my best years ever, and it feels like I've been doing everything right this year, but that really just adds on to it. So I appreciate all of you. Why are the advanced UAV Duty and this in the same category. That's the one thing I miss about Treyarch Call of Duty's, man. Like, when you could just put whatever kill streak you want, there was no specific category for it. That's just better to me, in my opinion. It allows me to just have a little bit more fun. What is happening with this lobby? All the campaign stuff sounds really cool though for Modern Warfare. I'm excited for it, honestly. The movement's back, the campaign, like all that stuff just looks like it's gonna be great, you know? I try to be optimistic with Call of Duty. I think a lot of people really dislike it because of how much money you end up spending with COD. All the crazy bundles and stuff that you have to pay for. I mitigate all that by literally just not buying the bundles. Now, I'm not saying that Call of Duty doesn't have bad business practices or anything. I just don't spend money on things like bundles. I hate these so much. Get out of the room, bro. Come on. He's coming upstairs. Wow. I do think Call of Duty has gone downhill in terms of the business practices they've been making, you know, with the game and stuff. All the crazy decisions, removing red dots, changing the perk system, you know, making unnecessary changes that don't really add value to the game per se. I do like when they do try to do new things and try to add in fun things. Like, I didn't really mind the superhero update, especially after they moved it to its own playlist. I didn't have a problem with it. Was it weird and different? Sure. People were upset because the game got marketed as realistic, but then people were also upset because the game was realistic. It's like, okay, so it's realistic and they don't like it, fine. We have a fun little update where they do something different. You can have fun and do a bunch of stupid stuff, but that isn't realistic like the game was marketed to. But I thought you didn't like the realism. You see where I'm going with this? It's just hard to win with this kind of studio. I made a video about it briefly, or I plan on making a video about it actually, talking about like why we'll never get another Golden Age Call of Duty. And that's one of the key points. The community is just so big and so split on so many different things now, you know? You've got the casual community, the competitive community, the jetpackers versus the boots on the ground kind of guys. There's just so many people that are involved with the Call of Duty space now, from creators to people that just play the game for fun. There's just like a weird middle ground that you will never be able to reach, and that's just a problem, you know? Like, people hated realism. Okay, we do something that's not realistic, but I thought the game was meant to be marketed as realistic. Now we're not doing realistic anymore. Like, I don't like the realism thing, and I've never been a big fan of realism in Call of Duty. I think Call of Duty is just meant to be an arcade shooter, be stupid, be fun, not overpowered and broken. Oh my god, dude, this is the campiest lobby I've ever been in my entire life. I had to throw like a smoke grenade on him or something. Get out of here, dude. Oh my god, bro. Dude, they're just camping and they're just chilling, man. Like I said, the communities for Call of Duty are just far too divided. There's just too many options, too many things people will just meme on. There are a lot of people who also just hate on the game, even though they don't play it themselves anymore, you know? I tried to slide and it didn't do it. I pressed the button and it just didn't do anything. Like I said, that doesn't mean that I don't think that Call of Duty has made some really bad decisions. I definitely think they do. But at the same time, like, whenever they try actually doing interesting stuff, people just hate on it because it's just fun to hate nowadays, you know what I mean? You can't win with Call of Duty. This was not my favorite Call of Duty by a mile. A lot of the decisions they made with it were polarizing. That being said, though, I fully understand why people enjoy this game, and I'm not going to hate on them for liking it. It doesn't mean that I think the decisions made for the game were good. No, not in the slightest. That being said, though, they try to make good decisions finally for things. People are like, nah, this is it. This is the last leg. This is the final straw for Call of Duty. That's never the case, like, ever, you know? I bet you there's gonna be somebody in this room right here. That being said, I am looking forward to having some traditional feeling kind of Call of Duty back, you know what I mean? Like, slide canceling isn't really traditional to the Call of Duty formula. I'm super indifferent about that particular aspect of the game, but I am excited for the campaign. I'm excited to... How did that hit me? I'm excited for the multiplayer to see how it plays. It seems like it's just gonna be really fun, you know, and that's just kind of what we need in Call of Duty again. But this is just one thing about the game, you know, like this space, you can't win with people. Like, they can make the best Call of Duty of all time. They can remaster Black Ops 2, brand new engine, make it more modern, you know, feeling while keeping that old school feel to it. People are still going to hate that game no matter what. They can remaster Modern Warfare 2, like the OG one right now. People are gonna hate it. I know everybody's gonna have a different play style. People are literally going to play like this in the next COD, but man, does it drive me crazy. I just despise the way that they've made it so it's so just chill in a corner, camper friendly. I'm not gonna be that much of a hater on it. Like, it is what it is. People are gonna play how they want to play. Funny, I just got to complaining about how I don't.
Niggas on the other team suck dick. All you niggas are fucking terrible, and all you can literally kill yourself.
You suck. I think the universally most hated thing about modern Call of Duty is just the microtransactions. But other than that, I mean, like the games are either going to be extremely hit or extremely missed for almost everybody. There's always going to be something to complain about. So I don't know. I just try to remain optimistic and think about like when I'm going to spend my money on things. I don't buy microtransactions like that. I've talked about this before. I'm tired of talking about this. Thanks for all the love and support on the channel. I appreciate it.